The next couple of days, I'm going to sit in one text. We're going to get back to 2 Timothy, and we're going to keep going through that. But I am super burdened and really want to share something out of these daily thoughts with you from Scripture. And I want to share 2 angles off of one text with you over the next couple of days. The text is 1 Corinthians 8, 1 through 3. Now concerning food offered to idols, we know that, in quotes, all of us possess knowledge. This knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. If anyone imagines that he knows something, he does not yet know as he ought to know. But if anyone loves God, he's known by God. In the world in the first century, the Gnostics were just beginning. And at Paul's time, it's called in scholarship incipient or seminal or beginning Gnosticism. It was just starting. And it had to flower out. And by the 3rd century or so, Irenaeus, others began writing, especially in the late 3rd century. And Gnosticism is a full-blown, very variegated movement of rather bizarre thought, where there are different gods and demigods and things like this. And yet there were Gnostic brands of Christianity. And those Gnostic brands of Christianity had a number of layers to them. But one significant layer was that you could achieve salvation, which was basically a getting released from the trappings of the physical body. And you could get released from the trappings of the physical body by obtaining a kind of super knowledge. Thus the name Gnostic. Gnosis is the Greek word for knowledge. The Corinthians battled a number of things within their culture. And when Paul wrote to them, he utilized particular slogans that they said in his response, kind of like you and I would with an email, where we're responding and we might quote in bold someone and then respond, and quote them in bold and then respond. Paul does a little bit of that. In chapter 8, verse 2, you can see that he's quoting another one of their slogans. Their slogan was, all of us possess knowledge. We're in the know. And Paul wants to point out something about their super knowledge, this little Gnostic influence, early Gnostic influence that had come into the church. And he wants them to know that knowledge is functioning in a particular way because of the way that they're idolizing it. And that knowledge is puffing them up. Knowledge is puffing them up. He says in verse 2, if anyone imagines that he knows something, he does not yet know as he ought to know. In other words, the chances are good that in the knowledge that you think you have, you probably don't know like you ought to know. You probably don't know near as much as you think you know. I wanted to share this verse with you because right now in our culture, it's chaotic. Right now, there's a lot of violence. Right now, we're seeing rioting. We've witnessed a horrendous incident that took place in Minneapolis. We're seeing a flare-up of racism. We're seeing all kinds of systemic problems that have been there, but the rods have struck down into the ground and the magma is pouring out. And there's anger, there's vitriol, there's frustration. And one of the things that I see is I see a lot of people weighing in like they understand, who don't understand. I am keenly aware of the fact that I have limits in my knowledge. There are things about this entire situation I don't understand. There's entire historical elements and first-person narratives and ways that things have happened in our culture that I don't understand. I don't know what it is to be a black person in America. I don't know what it is to be an African American. I don't know what it is to be a police officer. I don't know what it is to function in those roles. What I do know is I can see that a police officer who does what that man in Minnesota did to George Floyd is wrong. I can see that with my own two eyes. I don't need more than what I saw on the video to know that that's not how justice works or what justice looks like. I can see rioters, and I know that the striking of people that don't have anything to do with helping or solving an issue or the stealing of their possessions does not bring about justice. It just doubles up injustice. I know that. But I don't know all of the pain that lays beneath. And I want to just leave with you. I'm going to come back to this tomorrow, but I just want to leave with you in a lengthier daily thought today that it's okay to sit in a space where you don't know everything. It's okay to say, I don't know what that's like. And it's okay to not press the keys on the keyboard, even when you want to. It's okay. And maybe it's the best thing to do sometimes is to refrain. Now, that doesn't mean it always is. But sometimes, when I don't know, the best thing I can say is nothing. Have a great day.